Hey guys, what's up? It's Katie and I'm back with another Marvel Contest of Champions video. And today we are going to be doing a brief comic book history about Red Guardian now, and to see if his Mcoc counterpart does him justice. So a quick little side note here before we get into this, because in the game, it looks like Red Guardian is the movie version. So it is the MCU version and not the Marvel Comics version. But with all the events due to COVID-19, of course, that movie is delayed. So I don't really know anything about the movie Red Guardian. We really don't have anything to go off of. So I was like, you know what? Let's make one based off the comics and see if anything ties in. So not this Red Guardian. This Red Guardian is the one we are going to be talking about. Now, Alexei Shostakov was a pilot for the Russian government and was hailed a great national hero. He actually married Natasha Romanoff, yes, Miss Black Widow herself, but the KGB decided that actually both would make excellent spies for them. Now, Alexei was told that he could not contact his wife, but Natasha was told that Red Guardian had actually, I shouldn't call him Red Guardian, I should call him Alexei, had actually died during an experiment. And after this point in time, when he lost contact with Natasha, is when he became known as the Red Guardian. Now, one should note here first is that Shostakov technically is the second Red Guardian, as Lebedev, I'm sure I mispronounced that, was the first during the Golden Age. Now, he doesn't really have a whole lot of story arcs. The one big one, though, is when the People's Republic of China developed the Psychotron, which could cause mass hallucinations. Now, Red Guardian was sent to protect General Yuri Brushov during a demonstration of the Psychotron with Colonel Ling. Now, Black Widow, Hawkeye, and Hercules were actually sent to destroy the machine, and Red Guardian actually saw Natasha and they kind of got into a little fight, and she picked up on some mannerisms of his, and that's when he came clean and told her who he was, and decided that now was his chance to prove to her that he was actually superior than Captain America. So of course Red Guardian and Captain America fought, and Cap was actually electrocuted but was saved by Hercules. So technically Red Guardian didn't defeat Captain America. And Black Widow used her stun gun to destroy the Psychotron, which caused a bunch of explosions. Now, after all of this went down, Colonel Ling, remember this guy? He's the guy on the left here. Colonel Ling actually shot Red Guardian and mortally wounded him, and because of all the explosions that were going on, a volcano erupted and Red Guardian was buried under molten lava. Now, following these events, a life model decoy, remember what a life model decoy is? Yes, was patterned after him, and it was used to assassinate spies. Now, eventually it targets Mockingbird and Black Widow, and the LMD was seemingly destroyed by Black Widow. However, this was not the case, because the LMD tried to capture Black Widow for some crimes as a Soviet super soldier, but was foiled. Now, you should note here that this LMD is, yes, dressed as Ronin, because yes, it does in fact become Ronin, because Ronin technically isn't a person, but like a spirit type thing. Not really a spirit. You guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway. So his plan was foiled by Daredevil and the Avengers. Now, Red Guardian's got some pretty average abilities, right? But he's a master in hand-to-hand combat, and he has this shield made of carbon, oh my gosh, I'm gonna butcher it. Carbonantium. There we go. Carbonantium. It's the same thing as like Omega Red's tentacles. Anyway, carbonantium, and so he's got hand-to-hand combat, he's got the shield that actually has a magnetic force, which allows it to come back to Red Guardian after it is being thrown. Okay, so now that we know a little bit about the comic Red version, because we don't really know anything about the MCU Red version, right? Let's see if his MCOC counterpart does him justice. Now, The Mcoc version of Red Guardian does have the ablative shield, which can inflict slow, trauma, and vulnerability debuffs that last longer based on his signature level. Now, he can't gain buffs, which we already kind of knew, but it's kind of cool, and he can also block heavy and unblockable attacks, which is also kind of a fun little thing, right? Now, he inflicts a slow debuff off of his special 1, and it can be refreshed along with all of the other debuffs he has with a heavy, and while the slow is active, he gains, or his power rate, excuse me, is increased by 25%. Now, the trauma debuff that I mentioned earlier is inflicted off of his special 2, and the opponent, if the opponent has any debuffs actives, those debuffs last 100% longer. Now, he does inflict a vulnerability debuff off of his special 3, which increases his crit damage rating and decreases their block proficiency by 50%, and it stuns the opponent for 1.9 seconds. And also, speaking of stunning, if his shield is fractured, it also stuns the opponent. Now, of course, he has a synergy with the new Black Widow, one with Sabretooth, one with Omega, like I said before, since his shield is made of carbonadium and not vibranium, and which is what Caps is made of, really. One with Rhino and A-Bomb, and one with Colossus and Unstoppable Colossus. But I feel like, and this is just me kind of tying in with the comic version, right? That they should have given him one with Hawkeye, Classic Daredevil, and OG Captain America, right? I mean, these guys were influenced or worked together a lot in the comics, so it just makes sense for me for them to have a synergy with him, and it should have been, you know, a synergy that would really buff those champions, right, to make them useful in the content that is out now and stuff to come in the future. But being that this is actually the movie version, right? The MCU version of Red Guardian, I can see why he doesn't have synergies with these champions. Now, could there be synergies in the movie that deal with Colossus or that sort of thing? I don't know. I feel like also he should have had a synergy with Taskmaster, since Taskmaster is one of the big bads, or the big bad, we're not totally sure, right? For the new Black Widow or the new Black Widow movie. So it's just kind of one of those things. I do like his playstyle. It does seem to match. He does a lot of work with the shield, which is his main weapon of choice in the comics, and as you can see, he's heavily reliant upon that shield. So for me, they did him justice, and a little bit of justice in the comics, but only time will tell what he's going to be like when the Black Widow movie is released. But anyways, guys, that's all that I got. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think Kabam did Red Guardian justice? Or do you think they fell short? Do you think they should have waited to release this champion until the Black Widow movie is released? Or do you think they did okay in releasing him now? Let me know in the comments below and let's discuss. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you guys liked what you saw and you want to see more, please remember to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and hit me up in the Discord chat. Thanks, guys. Bye.